Before we jump into this episode, I want to remind you that while Caitlin and Sophia are dietitians, we're not your dietitians. This means the information shared in the Food Freedom Fertility podcast is intended to entertain, educate, and inform. It is not a substitute for medical care. This information is not intended to diagnose, manage, or treat disease. Always consult with your doctor before making any changes. Welcome to the Food Freedom and Fertility Podcast. I'm your host, Sophia Pavia, and this is our summer season. So I am not joined by Caitlin on this episode because we are looking to rapid fire information at you so you can know what you need to know to get pregnant, stay pregnant, and bring home that healthy baby. We're going to return to our regular season model in the fall. If you love hearing Caitlin and I banter back and forth and interview experts and really deep dive into big topics, don't you fret, that is coming back for you this fall. But this summer, we are hitting it hard with the quick facts, the most frequently asked questions, so that you can breathe easy and have a wonderful time while you are trying to conceive, or at least as wonderful as possible given your circumstance, right? So today's episode is another frequently asked question, and it's sort of a response to this phrase that I think we have all heard: just relax and it will happen. So, how much does stress and overthinking actually impact your ability to get pregnant? We are diving into that in this episode. So, here we go. I think we have all heard this annoying trope that, oh, it'll happen when you least expect it. Just go have sex on vacation and you'll get pregnant. Oh, well, my cousin was trying for 4 years and then they came to my wedding and got drunk and had sex after the reception and she finally got pregnant, so that will also work for you. And I'm pretty sure we can all equally and mutually hate those people. I'm just kidding. We don't actually hate anybody on this podcast, but boy, is that bad advice. Whew! And it is just really, honestly, when you are in the trenches of trying to conceive, it's not just bad advice. It feels like criticism. It feels like a dig. Like these people are just telling you you're like an uptight, frigid bitch. And what you need to do is just spread your legs and enjoy yourself. And that all these problems you're having are just because you are cold and unfriendly and unsexual. And that's why you can't have a baby. And it really hurts. I've been told these things too. I've had really loved and trusted family members tell me that I'm paying too much attention to it, that I'm not letting God do his work. And they were wrong as hell. I had stage 3 deep infiltrating endometriosis. I had a uterine infection, luteal phase defect. There was a lot going on over here that relaxing and boning down after my cousin's wedding reception were just not going to fix. So, how much does stress and overthinking actually impact your ability to get pregnant? The truth is, stress is not simply overthinking. These things are not the same. Stress, the way your body perceives stress, is one, emotional stress, like anxiety and fear within your body. Other stresses are things like undereating, underfueling, not giving your reproductive organs enough good nutrition to where they feel like they could support your life and another life simultaneously. Another stress is insulin resistance, or too much carbohydrate or too much calories on a system that is already struggling to manage what's happening internally, let alone being barraged by extra carbohydrate, extra sugar, not enough movement, not enough muscle mass. This is a stress upon your body. Another stress is untreated infection. In my case, this was a uterine infection that was bubbling beneath the surface, giving me no symptoms. Besides, eventually, irregular bleeding is what led me to my doctor's office in the first place, where I got dismissed until I found somebody who was actually willing to help me. But can also be things like gingivitis, untreated disease below the gum line, like infected root canals, abscesses. Your dental health is really, really connected to your uterine health. It can be things like inflammation related diseases, lupus, psoriasis, eczema, polycystic ovarian syndrome. These are all things that are really closely related to excess inflammation. And this is a stress on your body. So, these things, if we're talking about stress in these parameters, then yes, absolutely, stress is going to impact your ability to get pregnant and stay pregnant. But if we are simply talking about you feeling worried about whether or not you're going to be able to have a baby, I really don't have data to support the fact that that works to prevent pregnancy. It really doesn't. So your overthinking is not going to cause you to get pregnant, and it's not going to keep you from getting pregnant. It will, however, significantly reduce your joy and enjoyment while you're working to build your family. So if you've listened to this podcast during our regular seasons, you have heard us advocate time and time again for working with a professional like Caitlin or I, working with a mental health professional to deal with the grief and loss and anxiety that come along with trying to conceive, losing a pregnancy, losing a baby, infertility, or even like sexual trauma from your past, whether you were sexually abused, which is the case for nearly half of all women, or whether you just had a very strict evangelical background that has made it very difficult for you to access pleasure when it comes to your sexuality, or you've maybe had just really rude, brusque interactions with sexual partners that have left you feeling shame and sorrow and pain when it comes to sex. And now you have another layer of difficulty between you and your dream family. So, this is not an episode telling you that you should not be seeking help, that it doesn't matter your mental state, because that could not be further from the truth. Listen to me today clearly. Your mental state matters. I just can't confidently say that your mental state is preventing you from getting pregnant because I just don't have the data to support that.
Hey, Food Freedom Fertility listeners, we're taking a break from this episode to talk about our sponsor, Tempdrop. One of the reasons why Sophia and I love this brand so much is that it's an all-in-one solution and it's so easy to use. You wear this Tempdrop sensor on your upper arm during your sleep, and then in the morning when it's convenient for you, you sync it to their charting app. If you've been tracking your fertile signs for a while now, you'll know that this means freedom. And isn't this the Food Freedom Fertility Podcast? In order to accurately track your basal body temperature, you need to wake up at the same time every morning. But what if you're a shift worker or your schedule differs and sometimes you sleep in and sometimes you don't? That's one of the reasons why I love this tech so much. Tempdrop uses the latest scientific knowledge to bring you an accurate method of cycle tracking and identifying your fertile window. Tempdrop's sensor continuously monitors your basal body temperature while you're sleeping. And then in the morning, you open the app on your phone and you sync the data. And what that means is that it's not transmitting information from this sensor next to your arm to your phone all night long. And I don't know about you, that gives me a lot of peace of mind that I'm not exposing myself to radiation all the hours that I'm sleeping. Because this tech makes tracking your temperature so much more accessible and really takes a lot of the brain power out of it. You don't even need to charge it every day. This is one of the reasons why I personally use Tempdrop to track my own basal body temperature. Make sure when you go to tempdrop.com that you use our discount code exclusive to our Food Freedom Fertility listeners. That code is FFF15, or you can head to the link in our show notes of all these episodes. Click on that link and you'll get 15% off today.
We do have data showing that people that are actively working with counselors have better pregnancy outcomes. But people working with counselors also have better lots of things. I mean, they're usually in a better, more stable relationship. They usually are of better financial means. They're usually taking care of themselves in other aspects of their health and fertility as well. But really, even when we account for all of those metrics, we still see that gals who are, or couples who are seeking Emotional counseling, grief counseling, help with stress while trying to conceive have better fertility and pregnancy outcomes. But we don't really have a study to prove that stress or overthinking are preventing you from becoming pregnant. I really think what they're doing is preventing you from living an enjoyable life while you're trying to conceive. And that's a really big deal. It's a really big deal. Honestly, your life is happening today. It's happening right now. And if you are biting your nails and saying, if I am not pregnant this cycle, I'm going to have a breakdown. I am going to need to be practically institutionalized for the level of stress and grief I have over this timeline of me getting pregnant. That is no way to live. It's all right to get your period and have a few sad hours. It's all right to get triggered sometimes and feel resentful and bitter for a few moments when someone you love says that they're pregnant. It's okay to be sad for yourself. I don't want to diagnose that into some like medical problem because you're having normal human emotions. But if you are not enjoying your life while you're trying to conceive, if this is like a dark cloud hanging over your life, it is absolutely time to seek some treatment because it is fully possible to live your life to the fullest and have so much joy while you're working on your fertility, while you're trying to conceive, and while you're growing your family. That's pretty much why Caitlin and I do what we do. We don't want you doom spiraling on Google and ChatGPT trying to figure out what you should be eating, the tests you need to run, the supplements you need to take. We want you feeling really, really confident about what you're doing, really, really supported, and freaking joyful that you're entering into this beautiful phase of life where you're ready to grow your family and you are ready to open your arms to your baby at any point. This should be a time of joy and celebration, not of sorrow, grief, frustration, or resentment. Not to say that you should never have moments that include those feelings, but that should not be the overarching feeling that you have day in and day out while you're trying to conceive. So, no, your overthinking and your stress are not preventing you from getting pregnant, but they are really limiting your joy. I want to give you an example here, okay? I have friends and couples that I've worked with that sort of are like, I think we're ready to have a baby. We want to start trying. And so they just stop preventing and they live their lives. They have sex when they feel like it, they don't when they don't. They plan their vacations and trips and work conferences and parties and baby showers for other people and such and so forth without care or worry for, well, what if it's this cycle or what if it's not? And when am I pregnant? I don't know if I could go. And they don't revolve their lives around this. And it takes 3 to 5 years to get pregnant. And when they fall pregnant, they're overjoyed. And there they go. I have other people who spend those same 3 to 5 years in absolute hell. Every cycle is a tragedy when they didn't conceive. Every period is a problem. Every bite of food has a question. Is this right? Is it wrong? Should I eat this or shouldn't I? Their bedtime is under question. Their skincare routine, their hair care routine, their interactions they have with their family. Can I even take an Advil today for this headache? Can I have a glass of wine at my girls' night? They are in constant spiral over the fact that they could be somehow preventing a pregnancy with every single decision of every single day. And that is no way to live. That's what we want you to be free from. And those people can have a baby in the exact 3 to 5 year timeline as the people I described earlier. They just have a really horrible time getting there, and it's full of anxiety, worry, stress, and pain. Whereas if they were a bit more relaxed and a bit more joyful, the same timeline and the same ride would be so much more enjoyable. And I'm going to say again, their worry and their overthinking were not causing these problems. Okay. The number one cause of struggle to conceive is PCOS, followed closely by endometriosis. Neither of these two illnesses are caused by stress. Can the symptoms be exacerbated by stress? Yes, of course. Can ovulation be delayed in a PCOS cycle because of excess stress that cycle? Absolutely. Can your endometriosis symptoms and your egg quality from endometriosis be impacted by your stress? Of course. But stress did not cause these things, so we can't definitively say that stress and overthinking is causing infertility, because it's not. I hope this makes sense. And I hope this episode is really encouraging to you, because I wanted just to take the time to squash the beef once and for all that no, your stress and overthinking are not preventing you from getting pregnant. However, you deserve to live a full and rich life while you are trying to conceive. And so, getting the support that you need in order to be joyful, thankful, and fully alive while you're working to grow your family is a really, really good idea. And that's why we make this podcast. So I hope you liked this episode, and I hope you tune in for another one this summer. They're going to be released every week. If you liked it, if you loved it, if you think it could benefit somebody, please rate, review, subscribe, and share. And we will see you on the next episode next week.